ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل بدعة ضلالة.
What practical measures and steps should the one who is new to Salafiyya take in order to come away from mixed family gatherings, unsegregated, that they've been accustomed to all their life, without their family thinking badly of them? I find it difficult to enjoin the good and forbid the evil, as I'm the only Salafi in the family and from the youngest siblings, as well as being a female. It's not easy, sister. Subhanallah. That's why we keep mentioning the importance of having sabr, being patient. You lead by example and be consistent. You know, the biggest harm that you can do to da'wah within the family is inconsistency. You talk the talk one day and you do something completely different the other day. You see, the Amatun Nas don't understand the fact that you are calling to one thing and doing something else. Of course, a Salafi can say, okay, he's fallen short or she's fallen short, because human beings can fall short. But if you're standing there all bravado, you know, all of that big kalam about this is how you must dress and this is what you should not watch and don't go to the movies and don't listen to music and don't have mixed gatherings. Tomorrow your first cousin gets married and you're the first one there. Mixed gatherings and music and they say, what were you saying yesterday? Well, I'm a weak person. We can all be weak. Yeah, you can say that to me. And, you know, we understand it to a degree. Okay, you fell short. Make tawbah, make istighfar, whatever. But when they look at you, they say, look what she was saying yesterday. And they're laughing at you. Consistency is the key with family. Not rudeness, not shouting at them, not fighting them at every turn. Not even openly enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, because you are the youngest in the family. And all your life you've been freely mixing with relatives and friends and so on. So the first day that you come to Salafiyya or you come to Istiqamah and Iltizam is not the day that you go back and you start, you know, because they'll say, you know, you're like what? Holier than thou? You're better than us? You think you're holy? You think you're... Because they don't want to hear it, because they've seen 20 years of your life and now you're 19 and a half years old and all of a sudden you've become enlightened. So what do? You lead by example. You set it by righteous deeds, good practice. So you wear the hijab. If they're averse to the niqab because it's too much of a shock for them, don't wear the niqab. Niqab is not wajib. Don't put them into a cold shock. Yesterday you hardly dressed and today you're wearing the niqab and hands and everything covered. But they'll be used to the hijab generally, especially if they're from a Muslim background. They would have seen it. If they're from Somalia or if they're from Pakistan or if they're from Morocco or Egypt or the Gulf countries or some of the African countries, they would have seen women in hijab anyway. What's causing them the shock is your instantaneous change. Yesterday you were one thing and today you're something else. So you may have to delay the niqab. No problem, inshallah, till you're married maybe. No problem. But you behave consistently. So when the prayer comes, you pray. If you've got that 56-inch plasma, which seems to be some sort of, you know, some sort of symbol in every single home now, and everyone in the night, when you drive past their house, you see these flashing lights coming out of their house, and you think, well, what's that? That's the screen, you know, as they're watching the different scenes in the movie or whatever they're watching. Every house has it now. So when they put on a movie or when they put on something haram, you go to your bedroom. You say, where are you going? Say, I'm just going to go upstairs. Don't say I'm going upstairs because I'm more pious than you and I'm going to go upstairs and read the Quran and I'm going to read the whole of Baqarah while you're watching a movie downstairs. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. And you don't need to say that. Right? You just say, I'm just going upstairs for a while, inshallah. And when you hear that they've stopped, you come back downstairs and you sit with them. And you say, Dad, do you want some tea? Mom, do you want something? Have you eaten? Shall I make something for you? Be a good daughter. Because the question, it seems, is from a girl. Be a good daughter. You're the youngest in the family. Show them that your Islam has made you a better person. So if they are engaged in practices of bid'ah, such as Eid, Milad, and Nabi, or that they are engaged in, let's say, for example, going to the graves and calling upon the dead, then you withhold from that. And they'll ask you, what are you doing? You say, that's not from the sunnah. I don't really want to argue with you, Dad, because you're my father. I don't want to argue with you, Mother, because I respect you and honor you. But it's not from the deen. If you want, I can bring you a book. If you want, I can bring you, if you're, if they don't speak English very well, but they're good, the Somali language, I'll bring you a lecture in Somali. I'll bring you a lecture in Urdu. I'll bring you a lecture in Arabic or in English, whatever you want. But I'm not partaking. Sorry, I'll be upstairs if you need me. So you have to but be consistent. If there's a wedding and you say to them, there's a wedding, I can't go to the wedding because they're not segregated. And they're probably going to have a band on stage singing. And they're probably going to have videos and whatever else. I'm not going to that, Mom and Dad. And obviously that is going to cause a problem if it's a close relative. But you have to stick to your guns without being rude. You have to stick to your guns without being rude and be patient. Barakallahu feekum. So yes, you're going to go through challenges. And since you're a sister, which is harder for men to do, but we have the ease on the other side because men can behave like men. Right? Rijal are rijal. So our voice should carry stronger, even in the homes. Doesn't mean you shout and, argue with your mom and dad, even if you're a man. But they see you as, okay, he's a bit different because he's a man, he's a rajul. Women is different. So what do you do, sister? Get married. There's a few hundred men here. Get married. Inshallah. Don't delay your marriage. But marry a man who is righteous, pious, willing to look after you and protect you and honor you. And you're willing to obey him, honor him, respect him, and serve him. That's what you need to do. So if this is the understanding between a young man and a young woman before they get married, then inshallah their marriage will be successful. But if you come with your own feminist ideas, that, well, actually I'm equal and no man's telling me what to do. Even my dad didn't tell me what to do. Then you're not ready for marriage yet. I think you need to go back and listen to some more durus about the righteous wife and understand how the female companions were. But if you're ready and you know the role of the man and he cannot cross the line, and you know the role of the woman and you're not going to cross the line, but you're going to work together and he's the head of the household, inshallah your marriage will be successful. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, my sisters and brothers, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your journey to marriage and marriage itself something that is easy for you and blessed for you. Barakallahu feekum wa subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.